Hello everyone.
Yes, Naren, please wait. So a couple of minutes for other participants to join. So after that we can start.
Sure. All right.
Thank you. Yes, now we can start this masterclass. So I welcome each and everyone who have joined this masterclass. Okay. Once again, a warm welcome to each and everyone. So this is Ayyappan from AllPro Training, so who is presenting this masterclass to you people. First of all, I am going to give the introduction about AllPro trainings. So in these AllPro trainings, we are providing all kind of trainings, especially in the IT technologies, electrical, electronics, and soft skills. So in the IT technology itself, we are providing more than top 100 technology trainings all over the world. Telling about our achievements, we have already trained more than 10,000 plus students all over the world, especially in USA, European countries, and all over India. So in which most of our students are placed in various MNCs all over the world with excellent packages. So we are providing three types of training here. The first one is a master class that you are attending now. The second one is the flash course. It will come about 10 hours, which is nothing but the workshop. So and the final one is the full course, and it will come for more than 30 hours. So okay. So the main intention of the full course is once you complete it, you will definitely get a job in the MNC. Okay. So next time I'm going to explain about what are the things we are going to see in this master class. Okay, so you can see this PPT. So here you can understand that how this masterclass is going to present today. So initial 10 minutes will be like a participant introduction. So you people can introduce yourself in the chat box. So the trainer will come to know about yourself and he will present the masterclass. Depends upon the participants. Okay. Then he will give a webinar content for about 45 minutes about what is SAP and what are the features and everything. He will explain in a practical manner with a real-time example. So this is the second one. So next, the query session. So query session will be like 20 minutes. So here you can raise your hand and you can unmute yourself and you can ask directly with the trainer. So the next one is the student's guide. Here we will explain what are the features we are providing in our training center, how we are differing from other training centers, and how you can easily get the job. Everything you will get explained here by the host. Okay, then the APT offer. So this offer is for the participants who join this masterclass till end, start to end. Okay, so then queries and feedback session, finally you can ask. So the certificate will be produced at the end of this. At the end of this masterclass, we will send the feedback link. The people who are filling that feedback link will get the certificate within a week. So mostly we will send within 1 or 2 days. Okay, so you should attend till the end and should fill the feedback link. Then only you can get the certificate. Okay, so this is the overall agenda of this masterclass. So people have joined from all over the world. So now we are going to start this masterclass. So in front of going to the masterclass, you people can introduce yourself in the chat box. Some people have already gave a good evening. So Faisal, what are the things you can mention is like your name and your profession and your location and your expectation in this masterclass. The name and your whether you are studying or working means what you are currently doing. You can mention in the chat as well as your expectation with masterclass. Or else your main goal to learn this SAP. So kindly tell in the chat box, please. Each and everyone introduce yourself. I'm able to see 64 plus participants. So you can introduce yourself in the chat box. Rituja, Shruti, Abhi, Aishwarya, Akshay. So everyone kindly introduce yourself in the chat box. So my name is Chandan Abhishek. I am pursuing BTech in Sri Dada College. I am interested in software. Very good. Welcome, Chandan Abhishek. How about others? Gayatri, Guma, Harini, Jyoti, Jyotish, Kiran, Lavanya. So kindly introduce yourself in the chat box. So my name is K. Vishnu Sivaram Teja, BCom graduate, fresher. I am interested in software. Welcome. So Niveda, welcome Niveda. Sagar Khairnath, so welcome Sagar Khairnath. Please introduce yourselves. It will be very good if you are type, so your brain will become active. Hari Fresher, I am interested in software. Welcome Hari. Jyotish Kumar, pursuing BTech, I am interested in system engineer. Good evening everyone. Nagesh Kumar. Aishwarya, I am pursuing B in MIT. I am a fresher. Welcome Aishwarya. Nagesh Kumar B, mechanical apprentice training, Ashok Cleaner. Very good. Welcome, Nagesh. Career in software. Faisal Hasan pursuing degree. Sadhana. Good evening, I am Sadhana. Welcome, Sadhana. My name is Bharat. Bharat, welcome. Harini, I am pursuing MBA. Welcome, Harini. So, Naveen, pursuing B, it should be. Aravind B, mechanical engineering, industrial SAP. Sudhi, Bharat, pursuing CSE. Cool, Rituka, IT student. Welcome. Ashwini B. BTech, welcome Ashwini. Rajashri pursuing MBA, welcome Rajashri. Kolkate, Adar Kolkate, student, welcome. Student everybody. Pinky Singh, Baram, B. Baram, 7th year student. Welcome. It's good to see many first year, second year students have joined. We really appreciate your interest in this technology. Palli Vera Muhammad Mas completed graduation 2021, mechanical student. Welcome. Akshay Outrade B, mechanical engineer. Last 4 years, very good. Design engineer. Nikit currently pursuing B, IT infrastructure. Harihara Govind, welcome. Ravi Prakash, professional consultancy. Bharat Yasuri, welcome. Asika, Lavanya, working in the company. Sanjeev, J-Star, pursuing BTech, welcome. And current final year student, B. Okay. So welcome each and everyone. So Sarfaraz, BTech, Sagar, Karina, Swati, welcome. Sanjeevani College of Engineering. Okay. So now we can go to this masterclass. So telling about the trainer. So the trainer name is Mr. Narayan. So he is having a vast experience in this SAP technology. He is working in a corporate. He has already trained many students. So he is going to present this masterclass today. So Narayan, you can take the control and you can start this masterclass. Thank you.
Great. Thanks everyone for being an active participant. First of all, good evening to everyone. So just a short introduction before I begin with this masterclass. So this is Naren. So I work in the corporate. So before I joined my current company, which I do not want to disclose at this moment, but I have been working with different companies. So like every one of you, I was a college student. So I worked in IBM as my starting company, where I started becoming the trainer there. So that's where my career as a trainer began, and from there have been going to different corporates for different corporate trainings, as well as internal trainings and trainings like these where I train college students also. So just very short introduction, yeah, from my side. Since I see most of you are probably new to SAP world, as I understand from this chat here, I think the content that I have in mind that I've prepared for today should also be um, pretty curated for you guys. I hope my screen is visible, yeah. Okay. Yes. So first, what we are going to do is, before we dive deeply into what is SAP or try to understand what's SAP, I think it's more important that we understand what is ERP. Yeah, because SAP is an ERP company. It's a software company which develops ERP products predominantly. Yeah, SAP has different products, but the core stream of SAP is ERP. Yeah. So let's, before we jump in, I'll just put in a brief objective of what we are trying to do here. So what you will learn out of at least the few 45 minutes that we have with us today. Yeah. We'll try to understand how the ERP as a solution started. The evolution began from somewhere with four individuals, and how it went into a big software company. And we'll also see the different solutions in the industry, and what are the different ERP solutions, and why SAP is something that we are discussing today, and how it might be a future to you also. Yeah. So, and also since this is more of this would be, if you guys join our trainings, you would also be into more of a technical guy, so who will be working on different programs. So the language that we at least I as a SAP developer use is ABAP. So ABAP has an explanation, we'll go there. So that's a very short objective that we have for the 45 minutes, but let's try to take the best out of this. Yeah. So how many of you know what is ERP? Yeah. So of course, probably you might know the abbreviated form as ERP. It stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. But what is this exactly? Anybody knows? If you can just raise your hands, a quick raise of hands, that somebody who already understands what's an ERP. Okay. Nobody wants. Okay, no problem. So, enterprise resource planning is nothing but the synchronization of different company functions that's there. So if you take, you don't compare with very small industries, because small industries do not have different departments that function. For example, let's take Apple as a company. Yeah, most of you might have heard of Apple as a company. Or let's take Google, which is more easy to understand. Yeah, Google as a product, it develops search engines, it develops Google phones and stuff like that, right? So there is a department which is going into the manufacturing of these phones. Yeah, they also might have departments which takes care of paying the employees, which is HR. And HR is also there. You also have a finance department which takes care of the finances of the company. You have purchasing department which purchases things for the Google company. Yeah, there's also a sales and marketing department which markets different products of Google. Yeah, so these are different company functions, and individuals like you and me are a part of these different departments that are there in the company. But if you go into a company, you will see that they don't work closely together. Yeah, there are hiccups between these two departments. There's a lot of paper trails which gets lost, and there's a lot of papers that gets lost, and because of which company incurs pretty much losses. Yeah, instead of telling it as losses, they make lesser profits. Yeah, that's where this idea of having a enterprise resource planning came in, where you plan for the whole of a company instead of planning at the individual departments. Yeah, you have to have a synchronization between departments to make the profits bigger, so that you have a higher margins over profits, you have lesser losses towards your daily functions. Yeah, that's the basic fundamental of enterprise resource planning, where you combine different departments, you work in synchronization. Okay, now what are the different things that come into this enterprise resource planning? Yeah, 1 second, I see somebody has a video on. Can you please? It's distracting. Okay, so ERP helps in different ways. So first is synchronization of different business functions. Yeah, but how does a company get something out of it? It has much more visibility into the different departments. Let's say you are the CEO of the company and you are running a company and you want to know what's exactly happening in a country. Like, let's say you are in the Google, you're in the headquarters of Google from US, but you would like to see how it's performing in India. Yeah, you should have that visibility. So that's what ERP gives you. It gives you the visibility of different documents that are there, different plannings that goes into. It gives a much higher visibility. You can drill down to any level. So that's where everything comes. But why should one use a software for it? If you imagine how a software can help you, if you take an example of a calculator, yeah, if you we as humans are very good at math, right? But still, calculators are pretty much useful for us, right? Even though you know how to add 1 + 1 is 2, but a calculator is pretty much handy, right? It does automated things much faster. So that's where softwares like SAP, Salesforce, there are a lot of different companies that are there. For example, Zoho, which you might have heard of Zoho also, right? So there are different companies that are there doing the same job, but they are not the leaders of the whole of ERP. Yeah, if you take companies like Salesforce, Zoho, they have pretty much dominance in the area of CRM. Yeah, but SAP as a company or SAP as a product is having dominance in many of the industries that I showed. Yeah, in the previous slide we saw some of the major departments, right? So you have manufacturing, you have purchase, you have sales, finance. These are the biggest modules in SAP, and they are the biggest business functions any company has. This is what the dominance in the market is coming from SAP as a product. But what as a individual an SAP, when you come into the SAP ecosystem, you do. So you have things like configuration, you have things like customizations, you have testing and implementation, and you have user trainings. Yeah, why are we talking these things? Because SAP cannot build a unique software for everyone, right? Then it doesn't mean then it means that every company runs the same way, same business, but that's not practically possible, right? Everybody has a different way of working, different style of working. The same way the companies have different agendas, different business processes, everything is different in a company. To give you a real world example, a company cannot run the same way it runs in the same for example, if you take Google India, it runs completely different. But if you take Google US, it runs completely different. The way they use this different processes is different. The way they pay the employees is different. So everything is different when you take a company itself, when they work across different. So there's a lot of customization that comes into picture. So they need a tailored solution. So SAP is one such product which can be tailored to the needs of a customer. It's a very highly customizable solution. That's a very intelligent idea that four people came up with, 40, 50 years back. I think this year SAP is going to celebrate their 50th year. So it has been almost 50 years since this idea originated. Yeah. So that's where customizations and things come in. So where do you see the career opportunities? These are the spaces that you do. So configuration is somebody who understands the different business processes, can tweak some configurations in SAP and help companies run SAP in their own style. So not just configuration always help. There needs to be some sort of redesigning, customization that a company needs. So there are also technical people like you and I can do it. So of course, just development is never sufficient. Similar to any other industry where you develop some piece of code, there needs to be a rigorous testing, because SAP is going to touch the deep dive into the business processes. To just give you an example, if you take any products that you use today, for example, if you use Colgate, right, the products that you use, brands that you use, all the brands that you think you can imagine that's at your home, that's right in front of you. For example, I have an LG monitor sitting in front of me, I have a HP laptop sitting in front of me. All of these use SAP. Maybe you may not know it, but if you are into development, or if you are into support, things like that, you will know that all the companies use SAP behind them. Yeah. Just as a fun fact, Amazon, being the biggest company so far, they have not used any external solutions, but they are building a very big team. They have started already hiring big teams who are going to build them, customized SAP solutions. Yeah, that's the one of the greatest news that's going around, because nobody imagined Amazon would use SAP, because they have their own in-house products. For example, Indian company Flipkart, they had their in-house products, but now things are revolving after Walmart purchase, because Walmart is a very big customer of SAP. So everybody understands the need of SAP. Why such a big company like ERP company like SAP has been touching all the brands. Yeah? So that's why it's very important that you also be part of this ecosystem. Not just about money, it's about also the wave that is happening. So if there is a wave, that it's very important that we catch the wave and ride along with it. Of course, it doesn't end with just testing and implementation of the custom solutions, because if you imagine somebody who's working on a shop floor, for example, if you're in a TVS company, if you're in the manufacturing department, yeah, if you're on the shop floor and you want to use SAP systems, yeah, so you need some user training. So there is also a scope of job there where you are part of the team which trains the users on how to use SAP solutions, how to use the custom SAP solutions. Yeah, so these are some of the things and job opportunities, different areas in which you can be part of the SAP ecosystem. Yeah. So we just spoke about some facts about why clients buy ERP, right? Just as many of us go behind brands, so brands also go behind again brands. SAP is one such brand, and everybody wants to be part of this brand value. Yeah, to also make sure not just that they are part of the brands, but they also have some hidden agendas. Like for example, we spoke about operations, right? So where you are the CEO and you are getting visibility at any deep dive level you want. So that's one of the biggest challenges that SAP is solving even till today. There's a lot of products that come in, which is solving these problems. Yeah, so many problems to solve in the world of ERP, and SAP continues to be an innovative company and is solving a lot of these problems. I said, right, because others are buying it. This is a typical mindset. So probably most of you might have some sort of phone or something which you might have been gone for the brand value. Yeah. Plus, one other thing that's most relevant is the shift in the mindset. So, a couple of years back, it was the business that was driving SAP. So a business gives the idea of how a technical implementation has to be, and that's how technology was. But now, there's a lot of revolution in the market, and technology is the driver. So you may have a strong business knowledge, but if you are a technical person, you are much stronger in a company now. So now the driver is the technology, and how companies use technology to revolutionize their business values, their core goals, so that they continue to be successful. Yeah. So technology is the way to go forward, and with evolving technology, for example, things are going towards cloud, and SAP is a cloud company now, and it's also a cloud ERP vendor. And so every company who are transitioning towards this cloud is also going towards SAP also as well. Yeah. Plus, I'm not sure if you know, SAP is not a free software. It's a pretty huge licensed software, but that also is a matter of fact why companies trust SAP, because they are investing millions and millions of dollars or euros into such companies like SAP, and that's also something they trust that SAP will solve their business problem. So just like to give you a perspective, if you know Java, for example, let's say you can just Java is free, open source, right? So you can right away go install whatever you want, get all the open source software and go ahead and work. But SAP is not like that. So to use SAP, you need a license. So you need some sort of systems. It's all server centric. So you need a lot of licenses, a lot of money to get to work with SAP. So that's why building transitioning towards SAP is also a big cost to the company. And also the technology consultants, the business consultants who are part of SAP are paid hefty. The big reason is that it's a very costly software. People who are working with SAP are paid very much. The other interesting things that SAP has been offering, maybe many softwares offer today, but they have not been part of the history, but SAP has been, right? So it offers globalization support. To give you a perspective, GST is there in India, right? So GST is not there in many other countries. They have different taxation policies. So with different countries economic policies, security policies, there are a lot of constraints, there are a lot of things that a software has to comply with. So SAP is a software that has been built that it complies to the local laws. So it's not something that companies always have to invest in to build their custom solutions to support these globalizations. SAP already takes care of that. That's a very big advantage. You have internationalization support, which means most of the languages that the documents are in, for example, English, you of course have Hindi, you also have other national languages like German, you have Italy, French, for example, Chinese. So there are a lot of language support that also comes in within the product itself. So like currency support, there are a lot of things that comes free of cost. So you need not sit and build customized products. The other interesting thing is SAP, even though SAP is a very big software on its own, it offers still integration supports. For example, let's say you don't like SAP's finance module, but you have some sort of custom module, or let's say you want to go with some other vendor. SAP offers some integration support also there, so that you can plug in, and SAP can still be the brain and center of the whole solution, and you can also attach multiple different products. With cloud, this is much more flexible, and there are a lot of things that SAP is offering. It's very interesting how SAP has evolved from over last 10 years that I have seen. Okay, so just as a overview, for since most of you are from college, just to give you a perspective. So this is how a typical supply chain looks like. So you start from so this is a cycle of logistics and distribution, and how it goes to the sales and customer. So all of these can be modeled in SAP. So that's why it's a big software. So you can model any solution that you want. So you might be dealing with vendors. You might have vendors who are supplying something to you, and that's your logistics that comes into picture. You can model this in SAP. And then you have some sort of in-house manufacturing. So post manufacturing, you have movement of whatever the goods that you manufacture. So you used the transportation module. Then you have warehouses where you store, from where it's get distributed. It's if you imagine how Amazon, so when you place an order in Amazon, right? So just that they do not manufacture, they just connect you with different vendors. Yeah, Amazon does not manufacture many things in house, they just connect with different vendors. So it directly goes from these vendors, and it uses the transportation and then go to the distribution, where it's stored in different warehouses. Again, there's another transportation that comes into picture, and then it goes into the delivery to the customer. Of course, you have customer support as well. So all of these end-to-end chains is something that you can manage in SAP, and these are called typically the business processes in SAP. So I'm not sure if you have heard. So we are targeting towards becoming the technical consultants, but there are also business consultants. So each of the consultants might be an expert in specific modules like this. But as a technical developer, you might have work across modules, cross modules. So you will get to learn a lot when you work as a technical consultant. You might understand the business behind the modules that are there in SAP, as well as the technical aspect of it. So those guys are called as techno-functional consultants. So functional consultants are business consultants in SAP, and there is also a technical aspect, so they are called technical consultants. Okay, so I was always advertising SAP because I come from an SAP background, and I still see SAP as a great future. Yeah. So if you have not heard of any other major SAP vendors, so Oracle is or was one of the biggest vendors. Oracle is still trying to compete with SAP, but still they do not own the biggest of market shares. They are having a downtrend of late. Uh, PeopleSoft was a company. There was JD Edwards also, which was acquired again. Then you had Ban. So these are major ERP vendors. So here we are not talking about Zoho or Salesforce, because they are not just ERP products. Yeah, they are targeted towards specific modules of ERP. Like they go for CRM or SRM. SRM is nothing but supplier relationship management. CRM is customer relationship management. They are targeting towards a certain aspect of ERP. But Oracle and Ban are one of the biggest ERP vendors where they give end-to-end solutions. Yeah. So what can you expect from ERP? Just to understand what it means for companies to use ERP. So there is there is a reduction in the time that is consumed. So whenever there is a cost involved, so you try to minimize the cost involved around it. So you have improved customer support. So you have a lot of things that helps you to run your business better. So if you know what is SAP's tagline, it says run business better. Yeah. So that's what is the advantage of using ERP. But we are focused towards what it means to us and our learner, right? So just as a fun fact, SAP. So many thought SAP would have not been a very successful product, yeah, but it has been sustaining in the market for 50 years. So still, SAP is not big if you compare it with TCS or Infosys. It's not a big company at all. It's still a small company. You hardly have, I think, around maybe 10,000 people in India who are part of the SAP development team. But if you imagine, compare it to TCS, Infosys, they are having big, huge teams which are working on the implementation of ERP. So that's where the power of implementation comes in, because as I said, every company has a need. They have to tailor the solutions. So SAP sells the licenses, but that's not enough for companies to use them directly. They have to tailor it. So I have worked on different implementation projects. Yeah. But throughout my experience, if you count the number of implementations that I have been, it's hardly 6 or 7. Yeah. Because I have been part of different end-to-end implementations, and it takes around 2 years and 3 years for big companies to undergo this transition. There is a lot of changes. It's not SAP solution cannot be straightforward, because companies have different needs. And as I said, it's not just the company's needs. When you think of global companies like Google, EY, if you imagine. So I've been part of these projects. Yeah, I have been part of also chocolate brands like Mars and stuff like that. So all of these implementation at least goes for 6 to approximately 2.5 years. Yeah. So that's how long it takes. And that's how much money that companies are ready to invest, because they see a future. Because they when they are using ERP as a software, they see all these things that are listed on the slide as advantage for them. So what it means for us is we have a very big job market here. The technology is evolving, so there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of money to make as well. Okay, now let's get into a little bit of technical things here. So typically you would hear these terms as R3, ECC, stuff like that. So let's look at what is SAP. Yeah, SAP, it's not just SAP. So please refrain from referring to SAP as SAP, because I think in German SAP means something else. I don't recollect, but you can just Google it. But it's supposed to be SAP, and it has an abbreviated form. So it's system applications and products in data processing. Yeah. Don't ask me why they named it such a lame name, because this was named 50 years back, when few engineers like us who thought of coming up with an idea, and that idea became a company. Yeah. So this was also a garage project like Apple. So this started in a garage with 4 engineers. They were also IBMers. So if you see, this slide is also from IBM because I started my career in IBM. Um, so I have been using this material for the beginners slide because this still same stays, holds good. If you see, the slide is also from 2008, but nothing has changed. Yeah, over these many years, also SAP has remained same, but there is a lot of new learnings. But over the training course, you will see the new slides coming up. But these introduction slides are pretty old. And yeah, as I said, it was few IBMers, and I am also a proud ex-IBMer. Okay, so just as a reference to the company itself, so SAP was founded in Germany. It's a German company, so it was founded in 1972. So this year it's the 50th anniversary, like I said. It's a market leader. It owns about 56% of the market share, which is more than half of the market share. Yeah, it's not just SAP brands like SAP occupy the ERP market. There are a lot of small vendors who take up these markets into bits and pieces. But with everything into consideration, it still owns the majority of the market share, and it has been a successful company so far. So see the numbers you see, it's there in more than 50 countries, and there are hardly 40,000 people working in the company. But you know that all the consulting companies in India are much more populated than these, right? So it's also the world's third largest independent software provider. It delivers business solutions to more than 36,100 customers, and this is just the on-premise customers that you see here. The numbers are also growing in the cloud customers as well, and it's one of the global Fortune 500 companies. Yeah. Yeah, the strength of the success of this product SAP is mainly towards the integration that it gave, because many softwares that you see would not be ready for integration, because when you integrated something, you might lose your business value. Imagine a ERP solution which can take over the complete market, right? But had they not given this integration, probably they would have been more profitable, but their run would have been for lesser number of years, just like Oracle was doing a couple of years back, because they were not ready to give integration solutions. They wanted everybody to completely go into Oracle and use the complete software, but that was not a very successful move. But SAP's strength was to let integration also be there, but they wanted to be the core of that whole of the business cycle, and so far they have been successful. Yeah, R3 was not the beginning. So before R3 you had R2, and before R2 you had R1. So R1 was the starting where the four IBMers that I spoke about, they joined, and they developed a system. Basically, it was a single client. So they had just one client when they started in 1972 is when they announced their company, and they released their product also, and they had just one client called ICI Chemical. It was also a German company. So yeah, and when they began, so it was more towards the modules called sales and distribution, which and the materials management, because it was for chemical company, where they wanted to manage the materials and also sell something. And that was the single tier architecture. That's why it was called R1. And next, with the advancement of the technology, they moved towards R2, which is the two-tier architecture. If most of you are from computer science background, and you might be aware that R2 stands, R2 is a client and server architecture, where you have a client and there's a server also for the corresponding client, and there's a communication between these two. So this was the R2 as a technology stack. And they were predominantly using mainframes. So mainframes were also product of IBM, but they were not so successful when they were already had about 5,000 companies, and it was about 1993. Until then, they did not have a much successful career. But but they kept doing. They believed in their strategy of how these are built, and they kept going towards three-tier architecture with the advancement of technology. So in three-tier architecture, the database is separated. So you have a separate database layer where information is stored. Then you have an application layer where you pick up the data from the database, then you process it even before it is sent to a client. Client is nothing but a desktop which is sitting on your system. It could be any sort of device. So this is where the information is presented to the end clients. So that's why it's called a three-tier architecture. Yeah, you cannot just take the data from database and just like that show it to the customers. It has to be curated before they send something to the customers. Sorry. Yeah, so the advancement of three-tier architecture gave this flexibility. So you might have multiple clients who are using the systems, and you have multiple application servers which are processing, taking this huge data load and processing each load. And probably you might have a single backend server, which is why that's how the architecture was quite some years back before distributed environment came in. Okay, good. Are there any questions so far? So I'm just looking at the chat if you have any questions. So so do you want something more? I'm not sure if you can unmute at this point, but you can of course have your questions in the chat. Is things clear? If not, I'll also ask questions. Yeah. So nobody wants to ask any questions. So my question is this. So what are the different modules that we saw today? Yeah, apart from what you see on slide. There's a question, logistics will come under which module? So logistics is partially part of sales and distribution. So logistics itself is a big one. So there is also some, can you, yeah, can you please organize this webinar again? I'm not sure that I think somebody else will answer that question. Okay, any other questions you guys have? Okay, so somebody is asking about S4 HANA. Okay, nice that you guys are at least pretty informed. So far, we have seen the advancement. I'll just go a few slides back. So you saw how the advancement of the architecture came with technology, right? So you saw that there was a single tier architecture, then you have a two-tier architecture, then we moved to a three-tier architecture. So S4 HANA is an advancement in the architecture itself, but it's not that we have 4 tiers now. It's still a 3-tier architecture, but the advancement is came from something bottom up. So just to give you a perspective, so HANA it's not just a database. HANA is also a product of SAP. So it has more things to do. So to just give you a brief idea of what is S4 HANA. So HANA is also a database. So there was advancement in the hardware. There was advancement in software. So everything to put together, it was called HANA. So HANA is SAP's database. So before S4 HANA, what SAP was letting everybody use was you could use any database with your products. So it did not matter if you use MySQL or Oracle database or any database. It doesn't matter. It was supposed just to be that it's a SQL database, not a NoSQL database. It's supposed to be a relational database. But with S4 HANA's advancement, and SAP also wanted to do a lot more in the other layers as well. So they moved to they proposed that so if you are moving to S4 HANA, it means that HANA as a database should be there. That's the bottommost layer. HANA will be the only database that one could use. On top of that, you have a lot of innovations on application and the presentation layer. Of course, presentation layer is not something that SAP is proprietary. As simple as a mobile device or an iPad or let's say any tablets, all these are presentation layers to your So web application development. So there is also innovations that SAP has done there. So all of this put together is S4 HANA. This is just a technical aspect. So with the support of all the architecture here, so SAP was also able to do innovations from the business standpoint. So there was also a lot of business, new business capabilities that SAP has come up with, a lot of new integration scenarios. So to put in all the jazz words like AI, machine learning, all of this is possible within SAP. Yeah, SAP's ecosystem. So all of this is now possible because of the advancement in the architecture, and that's why SAP went into S4 HANA. So S4 HANA is a completely new product. It's not a successor product of the ECC or ERP solution that was there. It's not a successor product. S4 HANA is completely new product from SAP. Yeah, you just have capabilities to migrate from this to the from ECC to S4 HANA, but yeah, that's a very big advancement. Yeah. So of course, in this training that we have planned, we have courses towards that direction as well, because that's the future and that's the direction that every company is going. So that's where we'll also go. Okay, I see there is a question: creating invoices come under which module? So invoices is partially it's between billing. It's part of finances. It's part of SD, because to complete an invoice you need the finance module, and invoice process begins with the end of the sales process, sales and distribution. So it's the end of the sales and distribution, and also bits and pieces of finance module. So it's not just, so in SAP you will never see that it's just one business module that you will learn. Even though you will learn a single module, you will have to also understand the other modules, because we are discussing about the ERP as a product which gives a lot of integration between business processes. So if you are learning specific modules, you should also keep in mind it will not be just that modules. You'll also need to understand the next module it will transition to, or the other modules which you will integrate with. Yeah, it's never a wise decision to learn just one module and survive in the industry. I have seen functional consultants who just know one module, but I have also seen functional consultants who are keen enough to understand other modules who have been successful. Okay, I got a private question here. If I belong to engineering field, which module is suitable for me? Okay, this is more of, I would say, it's your choice, because if you are a person who are interested into coding, right? If you are a person who likes to solve problems through code, if you like to be more technical in nature, then it's very straightforward, because SAP does not have much offerings there. It's just two things that are there. You might be a front-end developer, you are a back-end developer. These are the two options you have. But just being one of this is never a wise idea again. So it's always good that you be a full stack, so you know both the in and out of both these areas, so you would end up in a very good job positions. There's also another question: which module is suitable for to learn for become graduate? Again, if you are into I assume you are not into technical, because you are from a commerce background. Probably I would say finance is a very good choice for you, because you might understand it much better. Okay, sir, please explain the difference between SAP and ERP. So ERP is nothing but it's a concept. So it's enterprise resource planning. So how you can integrate different business processes, different business functions in a company, and how do you run better. And SAP is a company that creates products to do the same. Yeah, it gives different solutions, and if your company is able to run these solutions efficiently, then SAP says you run your business better. Of course, this has been proven, so that's why companies still go behind SAP, and SAP continues to grow as a product company. And of course, still I myself have a job, right? So this is something that will stay for quite some more time. Okay, any other questions? Is there a good job opportunities if I learn SAP? So that's a very open-ended questions, learning SAP, because SAP is very, very big. It's not very small. Like I have shown the very glimpse of SAP over the slides so far that we have, but SAP is a very big thing to learn. So everybody who's even successful in career, probably they would learn bits and pieces in SAP. I myself am a technical consultant, so I know more technologies. I of course understand business process because I have been working on different projects. So that doesn't mean I know SAP in and out. Maybe technically I know a lot of things, but even then, business is a big thing to learn. But of course, over years and years of being working on same topics, you will be successful in your career. But what I can tell you is the market for SAP is huge. So you will never be out of a job. Yeah, so that's something that I know. There's always opportunity in SAP to find a career, but it's up to you how you grow in that career. You have to put that effort to learn, to keep growing, because if you just learn one topic, you will stay in the same place. Okay, there's a question. Do we have any free certification course for SAP mechanical engineers? Not as such, but if you're from mechanical background, there are design modules in SAP where your brains could be used. So if you probably land a career in SAP itself, then I think there is a good chance if you can put your actual learning into place. But there are companies like L&T and engineering companies who need such because they have custom solutions. They build also solutions for other mechanical companies. So there are options, but if you ask if there's a free certification, no. SAP never offers a free certification. SAP has a paid certification. It's a very very big price to pay. That's a different discussion altogether. But nothing is free in SAP. That is something that I can assure you. Sir, whether to join SAP, should we have any eligibility criteria like CGPA? If you are asking if you want to join SAP as a company, I don't know. If they are coming to your college, then I think they come with very high, because they are a product company, right? So it's not just SAP. All product companies are like that. They come up with high standards. So of course, they would expect high CGPA. But just keep in mind, SAP is not the only company where you will find job. Yeah, as I was telling, you have a lot of companies in India, from small companies to big companies. There are so many who are making business out of SAP because there are so many customers who buy SAP as a solution and they want to implement these solutions. But SAP does not do that. I mean, SAP of course does that, but it's very costly. So customers usually don't go to SAP for implementation. They go to companies like IBM, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, CTS, Bosch Technologies. L&T also has I think IT division where they provide services. So these are the big names I'm just telling you. There are so many other names that are there in the market who do this. There is also a lot of opportunities for freelancers. There is also a lot of opportunity for contractors in overseas. So I know a lot of people who have gone on site also. So it's not just that SAP is the only option for you. You have a lot of other options also to make a successful career in SAP. Yeah, because if you are a technical or a functional consultant who has a lot of implementation experience, then you are paid a lot than you working for SAP itself, because it's just a product company, right? Okay. There's one more question, sir. I have one general question. If we know knowledge in SAP, is that any chance to hire in multinational companies? So if you are a fresher, I think it doesn't matter. If one of the MNCs come to your campus, then I think that's not a problem at all. So they really don't expect you to know SAP, but it's always an added advantage if you're going off campus, because off campus interviews are more towards your skill, right? It's not always towards what if you're college hire. But if it's on campus, I do not know at least if it's a added bonus, because I was part of on-campus hiring, but I never thought I would be in this domain. But it was lucky for me, I got into this domain. But yeah, if you ask me, if you know SAP, have some idea of what SAP, I think it's also a plus if you are joining some companies, right? You can go towards the modules. I mean, go towards the technology, because multinational companies have a lot of things with them. So they are different projects. So if you know SAP, of course, it's easy for them to go put you into SAP projects. Then your career is sort of through. Can you explain PM module? What do you mean by explain PM module? I don't know. Okay, artificial intelligence job career. I am no SAP. Okay. Okay. You are asking about, yeah, I got your question that SAP PM is plant maintenance, but what is your expectation? So do you want to understand what is plant maintenance? That might be a big topic, but yeah, in general, for those who do not know, companies have different plants. Plant means it's a sort of a work location where they do a lot of work. They might do a lot of things. They might run businesses. For example, if you take let's say a company like TVS, they have a plant in Hosur. What does the plant mean? They have manufacturing unit, they have warehouses, they store a lot of things in their places. It's not just warehouse, it's also called storage locations. There are a lot of things that comes as part of these plant maintenance. But plant maintenance is not itself a big module, because it's sort of a module which connects with different modules. So you have to have knowledge of plant maintenance to work on many other modules. Let's say supply chain. Supply chain needs plant maintenance. Many other modules also need plant maintenance, but supply chain as such is one of the biggest things in the ERP in the market. So plant maintenance is also a nice thing to know, but it's very small module. It's not so big. I'm a student from artificial intelligence. After my I am no SAP, sir. I didn't get your question. So if you're looking forward towards career uh, in SAP for artificial intelligence, it's a very beginning stage for artificial intelligence in SAP. So there are products, of course, there. So there are customers who build such products also for SAP, or they also build for clients to use artificial intelligence. For example, Indian income tax department, right? So they are building some solutions. They also use SAP, but they also have some artificial intelligence related things that they are building. Yeah. So there are many careers to make. So it's a very big market. So if somebody who's outside SAP, they may not even know that SAP is such a big market. Yeah. Only people who are working within this SAP as domain, they understand how big it is. So all the new things, if you are if you have an attraction towards the new buzzwords like machine learning, artificial intelligence, all of these are there, but just that they are all in the beginning stages. Yeah. So you have to understand industry is new to these, and big companies are not really keen to go towards such unknown territories. Yeah. So they are very slow to adopt. So you might be working on it, but it might be very late in your career. But these are some things that will come. Okay, I'm from mechanical department. Where can I study SAP? Where to start, sir? I think that is something that we will cover as part of this end of this training. I think there will be a short session on. Yeah. But yeah, so the materials are endless, just that there is so much information to learn from. So I would suggest you to learn from trainers who are trained with SAP, who have been working, who are actively working, because there are a lot of trainers who are not actively working. They are probably trainers for a long time, but you should wisely choose your trainer as well. So people who are having work experience always will teach you more than what you know, because slides at the end of the day are slides. So you have to choose trainers who show you something practically, so which we will also offer for you. It's not just an advertisement, but also a guidance to you to choose your trainer also. Sir, I'm working in purchase department. Is there any chance to get entry into IT companies as SAP consultant? This is very much possible. So I know personally a person who was probably not in the purchasing department, but a different department in Honeywell, in I believe in Chennai. So he did not have a very good bright education background also, because he was he was growing in his career, and he came into department, and in their company they implemented SAP. So that's where he showed his interest to learn SAP, and then he learned things on his own. So he became a business consultant. So I happened to work with him in a few projects. So there is always scope for somebody, because people who are working in and out of those, right? So they typically go towards business consultants. They know how to configure SAP. They know how to change SAP towards the customer needs. They know how. So they are called functional consultants. They understand the business behind it. They may not be technical in nature, but they understand the business. So there is also career for people like them in SAP's domain. So you will, if you pursue your things, you might become a functional consultant. So I've completed SAP but don't find jobs as fresher. Completed do you mean you have a SAP certification? If you have certification, I think it's pretty easy. Otherwise, yeah, you might need some on the job experiences also. Don't worry, I think we will also cover that towards the end. Okay, there's a all T codes are common for every company or have some change based on their wishes. So the T codes, there are some standard T codes that companies use, but the same T code might look little different because of the configuration changes. For example, if you use MM01 to create a material, right? It might look little different based on what things they have activated, what licenses a company has procured. Based on that, different business functions are enabled in the material master. Just standard. But there are companies who have custom transactions, so they may not use a MM01 to create material. They might have a custom solution there. They might have a Z transaction to build their own custom solutions. So they'll have use ZT codes. So everything changes from company to company. The screen color also changes from company to company. In how much time we can learn SAP? There is a private question. uh, so it depends on what you are doing. So if it's technical, technical also has different aspects. There is also business to learn. There is also technologies like if you want Fury, there is something. OData is there, CDS is there, ABAP is there, there is a advanced ABAP. So there are a lot of things to learn. So each of it has its own timelines. So artificial intelligence have a scope. I already answered that. There's a private question. How long more the meet will continue? I think how much more do we have, Ayyappan?
Yeah, it will end in 15 minutes, 20,
Yeah,
30
yeah.
minutes.
Okay. We have some more time. I would say please don't put a private question. Keep it open so that everybody is also aware of your questions. So there is a question to me privately. I'm a student, sir. My department is computer applications. I am learning SAP. Okay, that's good. Um, yeah, I think you should continue, because if this is your cup of tea, I think uh, things can work nice for you, because you are early in your career, you already know SAP. Because when I started, probably I did not know SAP. It took me some time to learn SAP, to understand what's SAP. There was nobody to tell me things like this, that this is how SAP is and there's a career opportunity. So Lakshman says, I have a certificate. Then I think it should not be a big problem to get a job. I think there also something we can do something about it. What are the skills required for SAP? So if you are starting fresh, I would say there is no skill required as such. Just your interest to pursue something is needed. But I would say you have to think of only one thing. Is if you are a technical person or a more business person, that is something that you have to decide, because you can also decide it later, but you would lose some time. If you have a job, then I think you can invest that. So if you are interested in coding, if you are interested in solving problems through code, then I think technical consultant is the line you should choose. Otherwise, if you are interested towards more transactional oriented, more business oriented, talking to customers, uh, you know doing being a bridge between the customer requirement and a technical consultant, then business consultant is the way to go forward, by learning different modules. You saw, right? Some of them were asking about plant maintenance. Then I think there was a material. I spoke about material master. There was a sales and distribution. So a lot of things are there. So you might have to pick up something that's hot in the market so that you also land a good career. So also something that you have, that if it's interesting for you. Coding needed to learn SAP. Like I said, there are two streams in SAP to work with. So if you are a business consultant, you may not need to code at all. There will be places where you do something related to configuration, but that's not coding. There's no active coding that's involved. But something to keep in mind when you work with SAP, there's a lot of transaction codes that you have to, I wouldn't say memorize, because the more you use it, the more it stands in your brain. So it's something that will be there forever with you. You will learn what is transaction codes. Okay, then I think there are no more questions coming in. So Ayyappan, you want to take over from here?
Yes, sure.
All right, let me stop sharing. Great. Okay, I think there was one last question. What kind of code we need? So in SAP, the predominantly used language is called ABAP. So that's where you will start with, and there are much more advanced concepts using ABAP. So it's a different programming language altogether. It's a proprietary product of SAP. So you have to learn it from scratch. But that's one of the easiest languages to learn, because before I started with this, I already knew C, C++, and Java. I was already a certified Java professional, but for me, learning SAP was pretty new, but it was very easy to catch because the way the language is built. Something interesting to know that the language was built for people who need to solve business problems. So they really did not want somebody more technical in nature. So the language itself is more business oriented. So it's pretty much like English. So it's very easy to understand. There are some very much fundamental concepts. If you are able to relate it to your real world things, and if you find a trainer who teaches you like that, then it's the easiest thing that you can learn. With that, I'll give it back to you, Ayyappan. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Narain, for the wonderful masterclass. So I hope each and everyone have understand and know about the basics of the SAP. So I really appreciate the participants who actively participated in this masterclass and asked various doubts. Okay, so if you have any other doubt, please you can ask us in the WhatsApp, and we will contact with the trainer, and we will get back to you. Okay. So next we are going to show you. So the webinar certificate you people will get at the end. We will share one feedback link. So, and we request you people to fill that feedback link. So either today or night or tomorrow you will get the certificate. Okay. So I am sharing one of our students' feedback who joined our course and got placed in the MNC. His name is Muthu, and he learned the Microsoft Azure. So he gave the feedback. Kindly watch it. So next we can go to the further sessions.
Hi, my name is Muthu. Actually, I have done my Azure Cloud training, Azure 104 training in AP trainings. Past 3 months, I have done my training. The sessions was weekend training. Actually, the trainer was Ramesh. Actually, his training was very good. Every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, he used to take a training, and every sessions it was very nice. Actually, he used to take a interview questions, which is very helpful in the interview, and the trainings was very good. So actually I cracked the interview in as a senior system engineer, as a cloud engineer. The trainings was very good because he motivated and what are the questions, what are the tips, which is very useful for my interview.
So this is one of our student feedback. Same like we are having hundreds of students who plays in various MNCs all over the world. Okay, so next we are going to explain about our APT students guide. So here we are going to explain how we are providing training to our students and what is the procedure we are following and what is the technology we are following to teach our students and what are the advantages people will get here in this AllPro trainings. Okay, so here you see, here is AllPro trainings. So we are following the APT 5 courses. The first one is a simple learning methodology, which is followed by students recall, creative explanation, fingertip materials, and finally the additional bonuses. Okay. So now I'm going to explain how each and every day the training will be available. So once you join the classes, every day the class will be about 75 minutes, and we have divided this 75 minutes into 6 sessions, in which the session one will be 10 minutes. Here you can ask the trainer the yesterday class if you are having any queries. So it will be like a doubt clearance session. Then in the session 2, it will be 20 minutes. Here the trainer will take the today's set of topics in a practical manner. And in session 3, it will be 15 minutes. So here you people can practice in front of the trainer and you can clarify whatever doubts you are having. So you people are learning in a hands-on session. So these hands-on sessions will help you to understand each and every topic very clearly. So again in the session 4, 15 minutes, the trainer will take the next set of topics and again you have to practice for 10 minutes and finally 5 minutes for the recap. Okay, so totally 75 minutes each and every day the class will be available. So all our classes we have designed with the help of this learning pyramid. So what is the main motive of this learning pyramid is like, if you are practicing more, you will understand more. Okay. So and if you go to the next step of teaching others, you will easily understand 90 to 100% of whatever you are learning. Okay. So that is the main mantra of this learning pyramid. Then creative explanation. So nowadays people will tell like say everything is available in the online. So we can learn from the online. If you take SAP, SAP is a license-oriented tool. So you can't learn in the online because you can't practice without the license. That is our first point. And the second thing is if you go to online and if you collect information about any one of the SAP modules, for example, SAP module, you will get hundreds of information. If you go and learn, you can't achieve the learning whatever you need to get a job. So how to learn in a perfect manner as well as in the easiest way to get a job is to learn from a professional who is having very good experience in the SAP and currently working in the corporate. Okay. So the trainers who are teaching in our AllPro trainings are working in the corporate with the latest update of SAP. That is the main advantage you people will get. And another important thing is if you have any queries, you can stop at any point of time and you can ask the trainer. The trainer will clarify each and every doubts of you. Okay. Then daily, the class notes will be provided to you people in OneNote or Microsoft Word or anything. Okay. Each and every day you will get separate notes like this. So the next one is like, so you people will get class notes with pictures, diagrammatic flow explanation. Each and everything the trainer will try to give to you in picture because one picture is equal to 100 words. So you can your brain will easily understand the pictures. The brain language is pictures only. So you will people will easily understand each and everything the trainer tries to convey to you. Then fingertip materials, all the classes will be the live classes and the classes will be recorded. Okay. And the recordings will be shared to you people with the help of Google Drive. Okay. Along with class notes, documents, and softwares. So additional bonuses will be like you people will get free interview session, I mean the mock interview session, resume preparation help, lifelong community support, professional certification guidance. If people know how to do the certificate with the SAP directly, you people will come to know, the trainer will guide you how to do that. Then job link as well as getting jobs via AllPro consultancy. So we are also running consultancy. Here also we are having a partnership with the different companies, MNCs all over the world. So students are getting placed in various MNCs all over the world. So here also you will have a chance to get the jobs. We will give preference to the students who joined AllPro trainings. Okay. So these are the things we try to convey to you via this AllPro training students. Okay. So if you have any questions, means you can ask me, or else we can move to the next. Next, we like to present you people some of our students' feedback in the people who placed in various MNCs. Some student feedback. This is a student recently placed. Her name is Aishwarya. She learned the Selenium with Java. So after the course completion, she got 120% hike and she joined the new MSc. Then another student, Mohan Priya, she joined the Python class, and after that, she actually without know any coding, so after learning this Python, she is very confident in getting the job. And then Pranita, she is from US. So actually, she's a housewife. She's having a break in career. After the course completion of RPA Group Prism, she got the job in USA. So another student, Munindra Reddy, so he is a college student after the course completion, and he immediately got the job in RPA UiPath. Then this is another student from Singapore. So she learned SQLDBA. She also don't have any professional background. She after the course completion, she is searching for job. The same like hundreds of students have got job all over the world. So you can go to our Google business. So there you can able to see all our students feedback. So due to time constraint, we are showing less number of feedback here. Okay. So next we are going to show the APT students. One of our another student feedback in a video way. So I told it. So the Aishwarya who got a job in Selenium. So we are like to convey that one once again.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Aishwarya from Chennai, and I'm working in testing background. I'm a manual tester come automation tester. As I needed some help with automation training, I reached out to IRPA from AP Trainings. So he suggested me to take up the Selenium Java course, and I got a very good guidance from AP Training from Rahul and IRPA from AP. And currently I have got an offer with a 120% hike, and I definitely got the confidence and courage to move to switch to another company only after completing this training. And I would definitely suggest you guys to get into AP trainings and get yourself moved to a better career. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so now we can move to our final session. So that is the offer session. So we are presenting the offer to you people who attended this masterclass. So after that, we will share the feedback link. Okay. So now you people can tell what will be the market price of this SAP. I hope you people have already searched in the internet, and you will come to know what is the market price to learn SAP. You people can fingers in the chat box. Yeah. So in front of going that, so here we can first see. So what are the types of training we are providing in our training center for SAP? For SAP, there are two types of training model. One is a full course and the other one is the flash course. The full course will be about, for SAP, it will be around 45 to 50 hours. It will come around. Okay. So here for the flash course is a workshop. The workshop will come around 10 hours. Okay. So that is the training models. So here it will give like 4 to 5 hours usually, but SAP is a big course, so it will take more time. So full course will come about 50 hours, and the flash course, the workshop will come around 10 hours. Okay. So you people already know, so what will be the course market price? You can put in the chat box. Some people are telling 30,000. How about others? Bharat told 30,000. How about others? Yeah, we will, Bharat, we will share the contact link finally, so you can reach us anytime. So others, how about others? 60 plus participants are joining. So you can tell about the market price. We want interactive session with people. So kindly type in the chat box what will be the market price. So kindly type in the chat box. Yeah, so we are getting more replies, 50,000, 60,000. Yeah, how about others? Yeah, so Magesh replied, thank you for the reply. Thank you very much for the fantastic replies. Naveen replied, thank you, Naveen. But others, thank you for your interactive session. Yeah, thank you. So now I am going to reveal what will be the market price. If you go to market, the SAP will cost like minimum 50 to 60,000, excluding the certificate and the license stuff. It is very, very low, I am telling. So some people are asking like lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs to teach the SAP along with the certificate. Here, this is the market general price. It will come like 50,000 to 60,000 to learn this course of SAP. Any module if you take, will minimum take 50,000 to 60,000. Flash course, most of the training centers are not providing this because the license cost is very, very high. So usually it will come like 10 to 12,000 for a minimum workshop of 4 to 5 hours. Okay. So, but in our training center, we are not providing the course which is cost 50,000 to 60,000 and the flash course 10 to 12,000. So in our AllPro trainings, our usual cost to learn this SAP is like 30,000 to learn this market, this SAP course. Any module, if you take, will be 30,000. In the flash course, the workshop will be 7,000 rupees. Okay. So, guys, do you like this offer? Can you please reply yes in the chat box if you like this? So kindly reply when you are typing something, your brain will become active. So kindly type yes in the chat box if you like this offer. Yes, thank you very much for the replies. We are getting more replies. Yeah, I want reply from each and everyone. So whatever thing you are feeling, kindly type in the chat box. Then only we will come to know. Yeah, Vishnu replied yes. Thank you very much, Vishnu, for your kind reply. How about others? Ashwin, Bharat, Chesta, Chetan, Deep, Dhananjay, Deepta, Guna. So kindly reply whatever you are feeling, how you are seeing this price to learn this SAP. So Naveen replied yes. Thank you very much, Naveen. Thank you very much. How about others? So we really appreciate your people, your interest to learn this technology. So please be interactive. Rasika replied yes. Thank you. The trainer is telling this pretty low price. How about others? Siddharth, certification. Yeah, we will send the feedback link. Bharat replied yes. Bharat gave thank you. Thank you very much, Bharat. So how about others? Kindly reply. Okay, guys, we are getting more replies and we want all the people to join the course. So what you people will do if I give another offer? Do you want another offer? Can you please reply yes in the chat box if you want another offer? For at least this kindly reply. Yeah, Bharat replied yes. How about others? Sanjeev, very good section. Thank you. Bharat, yes, yes, yes. Wow. I am getting more replies now. Yeah, so everybody want more offer. Yeah, we are providing another offer to you people because of your interest to learn this fantastic technology of SAP. People who are having an experience of 4 years to 5 years are earning 15 to 20 lakhs in SAP. I know people. So it's a huge, there will be a huge boom in SAP in the coming years. So people who choose this technology, you can write, they will earn at least 8 to 10 lakhs in 2 to 3 years of experience in this SAP. Okay, this is a minimum thing I am telling. So it depends upon your experience, you will earn as much as possible. Yeah, everybody want more offer. Yeah, we in our AllPro trainings, we are providing the next offer in which the full course is not 30,000 and the flash course will not be 7,000. The offer price to learn this SAP and this offer is valid only for 15 minutes from now. The time is 7 25 around. The offer will expire in 740 to 745. The full course you can learn with 60% offer. How many percentage offer? 60% offer from the market price. It is just about more than 60%. I will tell the full course cost is just 20,000 rupees with 6 months of license. Any SAP tool, you will get 60% of offer with just 20,000 rupees with 6 months of license. Just you can imagine your life will become brighter by learning this course, and the flash course, it will be 90% of just 2,500 rupees to learn this flash course, and you will get a 1 month of license. So guys, do you like this offer? Can you please reply yes in the chat box if you like this offer? Kindly reply yes in the chat box. So many people are asking how to buy. Yes, we will share the payment link so you can buy via that. Yeah, Bharat replied yes, Vishnu replied yes, Kevin Joy replied yes. How about others? You know, the trainer is a well professional trainer who teach each and everything in a very, very perfect manner. For each and every module, we have different professionally certified trainers. Okay, so for each module, we have n number of trainers. How to take this course? Yeah, so you can make the payment. Some students will ask, I want to join the free course, but I not have enough money now. So you people, both free course and flash course, we are giving a small thing. You can make a token price of just 1,000 rupees now, and we will book your seat. And before starting the course, you can make the full payment because the offer will end in just 15 minutes. You can note down. So if you join the full course, you will have many additional bonuses. Like I already told, free interview session, resume preparation help, professional certification guidance, lifelong community support, LinkedIn recommendation, job guidance. Okay, so you will get so many advantages by joining this. Then your special advantages will be like clear queries at any time with the trainer, training at your preferred timing, and recorded videos will be provided to you, daily class notes and documents. Okay, so this is salary prediction. If you are a fresher, if you are joining any company, you will get a salary of about 2.5 to 3.5 lakhs, around maximum 4 lakhs. But when you know a technology like this, SAP, you will minimum get 5 to 6 lakhs of salary. If you are a person having 5 years of experience and you are getting a salary of 7 lakhs, when you are making a jump, you will get 30% of hike nowadays, 9.1 lakhs. But you know, SAP like technology, you will minimum get 11.2. If you are having a very good experience, you will minimum get 14 lakhs. It is nowadays, it is very much possible for a 4 years experienced person to get a salary of 15 lakhs. I am telling the average. Some of my friends are working in the corporate, they are getting with 5 years experience 30 lakhs of package. Okay, it is possible now in the market, so IT is booming. It's the right time. So only you people have saw this masterclass, and it's the right time for you to choose this technology and join. Okay, so many people are asking how to join. I'm sharing the payment link. Your one small step can change your life. It's a time. The full course is just 20,000 rupees, and the flash course is just 2,500 rupees. Okay, so I am going to share the payment link so you people can see this in our screen. So all payment link, so 9488775698. This is our Paytm, PhonePe, Google Pay. So everything, this is the link. So you people can join. So UPI link is like, this is our UPI link. If you want to pay with the help of QR code, you can scan this and you can join. So you can just pay 1,000 rupees now, and before the course starting, you can pay the remaining amount. Okay, so that is the main thing. So now we are also sharing the payment link in the chat box. You can pay with the help of those links. So 9488775698. So that is our payment link. So you can make the payment. with the help of those tools. Okay, so we are also sharing our contact link, so you can contact us via any one of the social media. We are available in all social media. The people who made the payment, just take the screenshot and send us in our WhatsApp. So our WhatsApp number is same 9488775698. I hope you people have already saw in our group. So this is the QR code, just 1,000 rupees. The offer will end in 10 minutes, just 10 minutes available. Scan this QR code and you can make the payment. Okay. So now we are going to share the feedback link. So people should fill the feedback link to get the certificate. We can't share again in any other social media, only in Zoom only we will share. Yeah, we are zooming this here. See, people can scan and make the payment. Just 1,000 rupees. You can make the token payment and you can join. So people should fill the feedback link to get the certificate. You should give our proper details in the feedback link. You will get the certificate to your email ID. So you should give a proper details in the feedback link. And people who wants to join, you can make the payment and send the screenshot in our WhatsApp. Yeah, so people can scan this and you can make the payment, or else you can pay us in any one of the things like Paytm, PhonePe, or Google Pay, or UPA. 9488775698. So this is our payment link. So people who wants to get a certificate for participating in this masterclass should fill the feedback link that we already shared in the chat box. Click and fill it with the proper details. Then only you will get the certificate to your email ID within 2 days. Okay. So kindly make use of this opportunity. It will end in 8 minutes. Kindly make use of it. So we are giving the full course with just 20,000 rupees for 6 months of license. You can go to any center. There is minimum ask 2 to 3 lakhs to learn this whole course. Okay, minimum at least they will ask 40,000 to 50,000 to learn this technology. So like a trainer like Naren, who's having a vast experience, it's very tough to get a trainer like this. So kindly make use of this opportunity and join this course. Surely you will get a very good package in the corporate. It's a huge opportunity for you people. So we have already trained many people in SAPs who got job in various industries. So everybody are satisfied with the training. So you also can join the list. So kindly make use of this opportunity. We are just asking 1,000 rupees for advance to register your seat. So you can see us in all the social media. You can click type AllPro trainings in Google. You get all our feedbacks and latest stuff. So okay, so we have already trained 10,000 plus students all over the world, including US countries, UK, Singapore, Malaysia, many countries. Many we can tell almost all the countries all over the Australia. Okay, so you people can go to our social media link and you can make the payment. So we are registered company. So we are registered as a private limited, also training private limited. So you can go and search. So we are digitally running like Byju's and Lighted platform. So here one of the main advantages, everything will be a live class, and you can also get the recordings. Okay, that is the main advantage you get. So kindly make things. So this is a Saturday evening. UPP attended this masterclass. I know UPP have a very good interest to join this SAP. You know, SAP is a very good ERP tool who is mostly used almost. I mean, I can tell like all the big companies in the world. Okay, so you will get a very good job easily by joining this and learning this technology. So it's a very good opportunity for you people. Kindly make use of it. The offer will end in 5 minutes. The final 5 minutes. So we will show the practical samples with the real world scenarios. So everything will be a practical training. The trainer will give hands-on with 6 months of license we are providing. It's very hard to get 6 months. If you go and ask by yourself directly with the SAP, they will minimum ask the license cost. It will cost lakhs in lakhs. Okay, that is a very important thing. But here, since we are already having a partnership with many companies, we are getting with low cost. Okay, so this is a huge advantage for you people and kindly make use of it. Just 4 minutes remaining to join this course. You can scan and you can make the payment and you can join immediately. So still people are available. So you can, if you have any question also, you can ask now. So thank you very much for